The beginning of creation, Part 1. Before time began. Before the first star illuminated the darkness, before the heavens were raised, before the earth became a home for life, before angels worshipped, before humanity existed. There was only Allah, no universe, no space, no time, no mountains, no oceans, no light. Nothing that exists today had yet come into being. Only Allah, the eternal, the ever-living, the one without beginning and without end. Everything we know has a beginning. Every building has a builder. Every book has an author. Every journey has a first step. But Allah is unlike His creation. He was never created. He never began to exist. He does not depend on anything, while everything depends on Him. He is the first. Nothing came before Him. He is the last. Nothing will remain when He wills creation to end except Him. He is above all things in greatness, yet fully aware of every whisper, every heartbeat, and every hidden thought. Human language struggles to describe eternity. Our minds are limited by time. We think in years, centuries, and ages. But there was no before Allah. He simply is. This truth forms the very foundation of Islam. Every act of worship begins here. Every prayer, every verse of the Qur'an. Every believer's heart begins with this certainty. Allah alone is the Creator. Everything else is creation. When we stand beneath a sky filled with countless stars, when we watch waves crash against the shore, when we see mountains stretching beyond the horizon, it is easy to become overwhelmed by their beauty. Yet every one of these wonders shares something remarkable. None of them created themselves. Every star, every planet, every grain of sand, every drop of rain, every living creature exists only because Allah commanded it to exist. The universe is not a coincidence. It is not without purpose. Everything around us points toward the one who brought it into existence with perfect wisdom. The Qur'an repeatedly calls people to reflect, not simply to look, but to think, to ask, to wonder, to recognize the signs that surround them every single day. The heavens are a sign. The earth is a sign. Life itself is a sign. Even the rhythm of day and night is a reminder that the Creator governs every moment with absolute precision. For thousands of years, people have asked the same questions. How did everything begin? What existed before the universe? Why was creation brought into existence at all? Human philosophy has offered countless theories. Civilizations created myths. Legends were passed from generation to generation, but divine revelation gives a different answer, simple, clear, certain. Before creation, there was only Allah. Then, by His perfect wisdom and His absolute will, creation began. Not through struggle, not through conflict, not through chance, only through His command. What followed was the beginning of everything we know. Long before the first human walked upon the earth, long before the first mountain rose from the ground, long before the sun shone across the sky, Allah created the first of His magnificent creations. It was not a planet, it was not an angel, it was the pen, a creation unlike anything we can truly imagine. Then came a command unlike any other. Write. The pen asked what it should write, and Allah commanded it to record everything that would happen until the day of resurrection. Every nation, every king, every prophet, every victory, every hardship, every tear, every prayer whispered in the darkness, every child yet to be born, every soul that would one day return to its Creator. Nothing was left unrecorded. Before the heavens existed, before the earth was formed. The complete history of creation was already known to Allah. Nothing surprises Him. Nothing catches him unaware. Every moment of your life, every choice you make, every joy, every difficulty, has always been within his perfect knowledge. This does not mean that human beings are forced to act without choice. Rather, it means that the knowledge of Allah is complete, perfect, unlimited. He knows what has happened, what is happening, and what will happen. To us, tomorrow remains unseen. To Allah, all of time is under His complete knowledge and authority. This reality brings comfort to the believer. Nothing that happens is meaningless. No hardship is unnoticed. No act of kindness is forgotten. No injustice escapes His knowledge. Everything unfolds according to His perfect wisdom, even when human beings cannot yet understand it. Then we learn about another of Allah's greatest creations, His throne. Before the heavens and the earth were created, His throne was above the water. This is one of the unseen realities that Allah revealed to us. How was it? What was its nature? What was the nature of that water? These are questions that revelation does not answer. And where Allah has remained silent, we remain silent as well. Faith is not built upon speculation. It is built upon trust in what Allah has revealed. The throne is the greatest of all created things. Its magnificence is beyond human imagination. Yet, as great as it is still only a creation, dependent upon its Lord. Allah is never contained by His creation. Nothing resembles Him. Nothing compares to Him. Human imagination reaches its limit here. Beyond this point lies the unseen, a realm known fully only to Allah. And this is where the story of creation truly begins, because next, the heavens themselves would come into existence. The earth would be formed. The stars would be scattered across the sky. Time itself would begin its journey. And the universe, as we know it, would unfold by the command of its Creator. Part 2. The creation of the heavens and the earth. Creation had begun. The pen had written everything that would unfold until the last day. The throne existed above the water. Then came the moment when Allah willed the universe itself into existence. Human beings often imagine creation as a slow process driven by countless forces working together. But the reality revealed to us is far greater. Allah does not struggle. He does not become tired. He does not need assistance. When He wills something to exist, His command is simply, be, and it is. Nothing can resist His command. Nothing can delay His decree. The entire universe exists because its Creator willed it to exist. The heavens, the earth, every star scattered across the night sky, every ocean, every mountain, every living creature, all came into existence by the will of Allah alone. The Qur'an tells us that Allah created the heavens and the earth in 6 days, not because He needed 6 days. Allah is capable of creating everything in a single instant, but His actions are always filled with perfect wisdom. Those 6 days teach us that creation unfolded according to His perfect plan. Every stage had its appointed time. Every part of creation came into existence exactly when Allah willed it. No moment was early. No moment was late. Everything happened with complete precision. At the beginning of this process, the heavens were unlike the universe we know today. The Qur'an describes them as smoke, not the smoke produced by fire, but a vast state from which Allah would shape the heavens by His command. Then Allah addressed the heaven and the earth, commanding them to come into existence according to His will. Both responded in complete submission. Nothing in creation can oppose its Creator. The stars do not choose their paths. The planets never forget their orbits. The sun never refuses to rise. Everything obeys Allah exactly as He commands. This perfect order continues every second of every day. The universe is not sustained by chance. It is sustained by the will of the One who created it. As the heavens took shape, Allah completed them as 7 heavens. These are among the greatest creations of Allah. We know they exist because Allah informed us, but we do not know everything about them. Human knowledge reaches only the lowest heaven, the one decorated with stars. Beyond that lies a world unseen, a creation whose true nature remains known only to Allah. This reminds us of an important lesson. Not everything that exists can be seen. The unseen is a central part of faith, just as we cannot see the angels, or the soul, or paradise. We believe because Allah has informed us. Faith is not built upon what our eyes can see alone. It is built upon trust in the One whose knowledge is perfect. After creating the heavens, Allah adorned the nearest heaven with stars. For countless generations, people have looked into the night sky with wonder. Millions of stars shine across the darkness. Some are so distant that their light travels for thousands, or even millions, of years before reaching our eyes. Yet every one of them remains exactly where Allah has decreed. Not one moves outside His knowledge. The Qur'an tells us that the stars serve more than one purpose. They beautify the nearest heaven. They guide travelers through the darkness. And by Allah's command, they also serve as a protection against the devils who seek to eavesdrop on the heavenly assembly. Nothing in creation is meaningless. Everything has wisdom. Everything has purpose. As the heavens were completed, Allah turned His command toward the earth. The earth was not created accidentally. It was prepared with extraordinary precision. Its mountains, its valleys, its rivers, its seas, its deserts, its forests. Every part of this world was measured by divine wisdom. The Qur'an tells us that Allah spread out the earth and placed firmly anchored mountains upon it. These mountains are signs of His power. They remind us that even the strongest things we know remain servants of their Creator. Their immense size may inspire awe in human beings, yet before Allah they are nothing more than part of His creation. Allah also placed blessings throughout the earth, fresh water flowing through rivers, rain descending from the sky, plants growing from lifeless soil, countless fruits of different colors and tastes, animals of every kind. Every blessing we enjoy traces back to one source, Allah. Every breath we take depends upon Him. Every meal we eat is provided by Him. Every heartbeat continues only because He allows it. Human beings often believe they control their lives. We make plans, we build cities, we invent remarkable technologies. Yet none of these achievements would be possible without the world Allah prepared long before humanity existed. The earth was never meant to be permanent. It was created as a place of testing, a temporary home, a place where every human being would be given opportunities, choices, trials, and blessings. One day this earth will come to an end. The mountains will crumble. The seas will overflow. The heavens themselves will be changed. But that day belongs to the future. For now, the stage had been prepared. The heavens stood above. The earth lay beneath. The stars illuminated the darkness. The sun and the moon had not yet entered our story, nor had the angels who would carry out countless commands across creation and humanity. The creation for whom this world had been prepared had not yet appeared. That moment was still to come. Part 3. The sun, the moon, and the unseen. world. The heavens had been completed, the earth had been prepared, its mountains stood firm, its valleys stretched across the land. Its rivers would one day bring life wherever they flowed. But creation was not yet complete. The sky above remained unlike the one we know today. Then, by the command of Allah, the heavens were adorned. The nearest heaven, the only heaven visible to human eyes, was decorated with countless stars. Imagine standing beneath a perfectly dark sky, far from the lights of any city. Thousands of stars fill the heavens. Some appear bright, others barely visible. Yet every one of them occupies exactly the place Allah has appointed for it. Not one wanders beyond His command. Not one shines without His permission. For thousands of years, travelers crossed deserts and oceans by following the stars. Long before satellites and compasses, Allah had already placed signs in the heavens to guide those journeying through the night. But the stars were created for more than beauty and guidance. They also serve a purpose hidden from human sight. The unseen world is real. Although our eyes cannot perceive it, Allah has informed us that among His creation are angels and jinn. He has also informed us that rebellious devils attempt to steal fragments of information from the heavenly assembly. When they try to approach what has been forbidden to them, they are driven away by blazing flames sent against them. This reminds us of something profound. The universe is far greater than what our eyes can see. Human beings often believe that reality is limited to the physical world, yet revelation teaches us otherwise. There are creations surrounding us that remain hidden, not because they do not exist, but because Allah has chosen to veil them from our sight. Among these unseen creations are the angels. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught that angels were created from light. Unlike human beings, they never grow tired of worship. They never disobey Allah. They never question His wisdom. Every command is fulfilled immediately. Every act of worship is carried out with perfect devotion. Some angels carry messages. Some record every word and every deed of every human being. Some guard people by Allah's permission. Some are entrusted with the rain, others with the mountains. Some welcome the righteous into paradise. Others are guardians over hell. Each angel has a role assigned by Allah. None seeks honor for themselves. None acts independently. Everything they do is an act of obedience to their Lord. Imagine the number of angels that exist. The Prophet, peace be upon him, described the heavens as filled with worship. There is no space the width of 4 fingers, except that an angel is standing, bowing, or prostrating before Allah. Every moment, every second, the heavens echo with praise. While humanity sleeps, while civilizations rise and fall, the worship of Allah never ceases. Then there is another creation, one often misunderstood, the jinn. Like angels, they belong to the unseen world. But unlike angels, they possess free will. They can choose belief or disbelief, obedience or rebellion. Allah created them from a smokeless flame of fire long before the creation of mankind. Among them are believers. Among them are those who reject the truth. They live in a world that exists alongside ours, though hidden from our sight. We are unable to see them in their true form, yet Allah sees both us and them. The existence of the jinn reminds us once again that human knowledge is limited. Not everything that exists can be measured. Not everything can be photographed. Not everything can be explained through human observation alone. The unseen remains part of reality, because its creator has informed us of it. As creation continued, Allah brought forth two of the greatest signs visible to every human being, the sun and the moon. The sun was created as a radiant light, a source of warmth, energy, and life. Without it, the earth would remain cold and lifeless. Plants would not grow. The seasons would not change. Life as we know it could not exist. Yet despite its unimaginable power, the sun remains a servant of Allah. Every morning it rises only because Allah wills it. Every evening it sets by His command. It never forgets its appointed course. It never rebels against its creator. The moon was created with a different role. Unlike the sun, it does not produce its own light. Its changing phases mark the passage of months and seasons. For Muslims across the world, the sighting of the new moon announces Ramadan, the days of Hajj, and the celebrations of Eid. Night after night, month after month, year after year, the moon silently fulfills the purpose for which Allah created it. The alternation of day and night became one of the greatest signs for humanity. Every sunrise reminds us that Allah gives another opportunity to live. Every sunset reminds us that another day has passed, one that will never return. Time itself became one of Allah's greatest blessings, a gift and a trust. Every hour carries choices, every day carries opportunities. Every life moves steadily toward the moment when it will stand before its Creator. The heavens had been perfected, the earth had been prepared, the stars illuminated the night, the angels worshipped without ceasing, the jinn inhabited the unseen world, the sun and the moon began their appointed courses. Everything was now ready for the creation that would change the history of the earth forever, a creation unlike any before it. A creation that would be given knowledge, free will, responsibility, and the honor of being tested. Soon, Allah would announce to the angels a decision unlike anything they had ever heard. I am placing upon the earth a successor. And with those words, the story of mankind was about to begin. Part 4. Conclusion. The heavens had been completed. The earth had been prepared, the stars filled the night sky, the sun and the moon followed the paths appointed for them. Everything in creation existed by the will of Allah. Nothing was random, nothing was without purpose. Every mountain, every river, every sunrise, and every star above us is a sign of His infinite wisdom and power. This universe was not created without meaning. It was created with truth, purpose, and perfect balance. And yet, the greatest chapter of creation was still to come. The earth was ready. The heavens were complete. Now Allah would create a being unlike any before, a creation with knowledge, free will, and the ability to choose between obedience and disobedience. The story of the first human, Adam, was about to begin. But that is a story for another time. Until then, whenever you look up at the sky, remember this: the one who created this entire universe is the same Lord who created you, and nothing is impossible for Him.